Right, hello. This is a review of this car, the Puma. It's my first ever car review. It'll probably be my last because I'm not going to make a habit of doing them. It is, for the record, it is a Puma ST Line X with a 155 horsepower option and a winter pack option, which is heated front seats and a heated steering wheel. The date today is the 25th of October, Friday the 25th of October 2024, and I picked this car up on the Monday. This is an owner's review, so I'm not going to go through everything. I'm not going to show you all the dials and all the switches and all that. You can look elsewhere for that, because basically this is a computer on wheels. And if you can't work out how to find the reviews on YouTube, and there's a YouTube's on the Sync 4, Ford Sync 4 system that this uses. If you can't find all that on YouTube, then you probably won't be able to drive this car because a lot of it is computer based. I'm trying to do this to, like all my videos, I'll try and do it to help other people make the same decision. And I'm not flogging these. I'm not a Ford fan, and I don't want to be a Jeremy Clarkson, but I just thought I'd make this because I enjoy making these videos basically, and I've never done one of these, so I just thought it might be useful. Right, so I'll just edit this bit in somewhere because I forgot to say it when I've just done a long take. This review is going to be positive. I'm happy with the car, so it is going to be positive, and I'm going to show you what I do like and what I don't like, although overall I like the car, but there are some bits that do annoy me, and some bits that I got that I wasn't expecting. First of all, from where you're coming from, why buy the car? Why buy this particular car? Well, I wanted a small SUV because I'm 67 years old, and I've got to look towards, I keep my cars for a long time, so in 10 years time obviously I'll be 77, likely to start having mobility issues. It's just a fact of life. And having watched my father-in-law struggle like hell with bad hips and bad knees, he bought a Kia Carens and another Kia which was quite high up because it was easier to get in and out of. And it's true, the small SUVs, and any SUVs, they're a little bit taller, the seating's a little bit taller, easier to get in and out of. So that was one decision. We wanted a small SUV. But why the Puma? Well, we looked at all of them. We went to a place called availablecar.com at Castle Donington. And there's another one at Sutton in Ashfield. And there's a lot of these places about, but these in particular, they're very, very good. When you go in, they don't hassle you for sales. They don't breathe down your neck. You go in and they ask you what you're interested in, and then they say, oh, all the cars are out there. They're all in categories. So all the small SUVs are together, all the smaller cars, all the bigger cars, and they're all together. They're all unlocked. And you can just go in and have a look around them, sit in them. And it's brilliant. Like I say, they're not breathing down your neck. So I would recommend them, but we were obviously having a new one. So we looked at the Volkswagen T-Roc. We looked at the Audi Q2. We looked at the Puma. We looked at the Vauxhall Mokka, but don't like the styling of the Mokka. The favourite was, we had a test drive actually, not there, but we have had a test drive in an Audi Q2. We found out they're phasing them out, so that would be like an old model. I've already got a Volkswagen, a Volvo XC90, which was 2013, the last of that design before they brought in the new one. So that's old technology, and I didn't want to do that again. I wanted something off the top of the tree this time. We looked at the T-Roc. We liked the T-Roc, and then we looked at a load of reviews on YouTube, a load of wannabe Jeremy Clarksons. They're just boring, some of them. I hope I don't come over like that, but it seems if they review, for instance, an Italian car, they can't resist starting off with a reference to pasta and pizzas and something corny like that. So I don't know how I'd start this one if I was doing that, because this was built in Romania. So I don't know any Romanian cliches, so that's that out the window for a start. Anyway, I think the favourite was the T-Roc, and then I looked at the reviews for the Puma, and there was some controversy about the engines, about the wet belt engines. So I looked into that, and that put me off the Puma. They said it was a really good car, but the wet belt engine, I thought, oh, I don't want that hassle hanging over me. So anyway, we looked into it a bit further, and it turns out that they've dealt with that. They've taken away the wet cam belt, and they've now used the chain and sorted it, and they are aware of it, and they sort of give you guarantees that if you take it back to them for service, they'll look after you for, well, they'll just look after you, and in the time I'm going to have the car, that'll do for me. So we went for a test drive to our local dealer, Payne's at Inkley, and the one we drove was one with all the toys on it. That was an ST Line X, but it got all the extras on it. And the first thing I did not like was the lane keeping thing, because I was driving down the motorway and you just get near the white line and it shakes the steering wheel. Now to me that's a distraction, but again, this is my approach to driving, might be different to yours. I was driving articulated lorries for 30 odd years, so I'm used to driving on my mirrors, and I'm used to driving the vehicle myself. So all these extras to supposedly help me drive the vehicle, I don't need them, and they annoy me. So that I did not want. And I also didn't want the 3D cameras, because there's some kind of 3D camera that shows you all around the vehicle. I don't even like the reversing camera that comes up on this big screen. I'm not particularly happy with it because I use the mirrors. I live halfway down a cul-de-sac on a housing estate, and every time I drive out, I'm facing down the cul-de-sac when I park, and every time I come out, I get in the car and I reverse up the road onto the main estate road, not onto a main road, but onto an estate road. And I always just reverse between the cars up onto this, because I'm used to driving on the mirrors. My brother-in-law craps himself when he comes in because he's not used to going that fast backwards. It's just how we are, lorry drivers. It's not me, it's all lorry drivers. We learn to use the mirrors a lot. So that's what we do. And there is now a woman just walking past, wondering what the hell I'm doing, talking to myself in the car. Brilliant. Yeah. Welcome to the YouTube generation, dearly. Anyway, where was I? Yeah. So I didn't want that. What did I want? I forget. We wanted the heated front seats, and we wanted the heated steering wheel. So we looked at the different models, and I fancied, because I used to be a car enthusiast, but for the last 20 or 30 years I've been buying boring diesels and driving carefully and practically to save money. So I wanted something with a bit of oomph, so we looked at the ST, but the driver's seat was sort of acceptable. The missus didn't like the passenger seat because it just wasn't comfortable. So we've gone for the ST Line X for the more comfortable seats, but I had the 155 option for a little bit more punch, although I won't be using that a lot, you know. But what I didn't like about some of the other models, like I think it's the Vauxhall, a lot of new cars, they're going for touch buttons, touch switches on the steering wheel. Now to me that is just trouble before you even get there, because you're going to touch them accidentally and you're going to be switching things on and off. And there's even one of these reviewers who is like dedicated to Mercedes, and he's testing a Mercedes and they've got these touch buttons on there, and he admits, he says, oh, some people don't like these, but I get used to them. Oh, you can get used to them after a bit. Yeah, you get used to them if you're a dedicated Mercedes bloke and you're determined to have a Mercedes, then you'll suffer. But in practical terms, I just think they'll be a pain, because you'll be switching stuff off and on and off. Anyway, this hasn't got them, thankfully, just yet, although the way fashions go, I imagine that soon Ford will decide, oh, we've got to keep up with everybody else and we must have touch sensitive switches. So anyway, I didn't have the driver assistance pack, which is the one with all the... Oh, my screen's just gone off if I've gone a bit dark. I wonder if I can switch it back on. Press the power button and it says press the brake to start. I want that screen on for my light. Well, it's coming on, it says Ford. Oh, it's a great shame you can't see this. Anyway, so yeah, we enjoyed the test drive. We decided to have one, but we didn't go for the drive because I didn't want all them cameras on it. Didn't go for the matrix headlights because that's a waste of time. That's just helping everybody else. Well, now then, that's what we got. Now, when it came, there are some bits that I were expecting and some that I wasn't expecting. So I assumed that this lane keeping thing was in the driver accessory pack. It wasn't. It's here, and I don't like it. It's not a deal breaker, but I don't like it. I have to switch it off every time I get in the car. And what annoys me is, and I'll show you this, I'll move the camera, look. So, just here is the lane keeping button. And just here is the limiter, the speed limit button, and just there is the cruise control button. Now, I always use the limiter and the cruise control when I'm out, and I don't use this. So first thing I do is switch that off, but the buttons I do want to use, I've got to use them two. Now I would prefer these two to be here, because they're the ones I use all the time. And this one, you either leave it on or you switch it off. So that's a one-time button, it should be there. But again, not a deal breaker. Learn off. Now it's off. Well, like I say, don't want these to be touch sensitive. You just catch them. Look, when you're driving, you move your hands a bit. You don't sit there and just grip it there for 200 miles. You move your hands about and you just catch it, and you'll be phoning somebody or something. So there you go. Look, I'm down in Sutton Elms. Another thing I'm dead chuffed with is this. The sales lady told me that it'd be a good idea to get the Ford app. So I did, because she said you're going to have to need it in... no, you're not sending me notifications. She said in 2 years' time, all your service records on the app anyway, so you're going to need it in 2 years' time when the first service. But, so you might as well do it now. So I said, yeah, okay, so long as I don't have to put any pay things on there, because I don't put any payment things on my phone in case it gets nicked. I just think that's sensible. So she said no. So anyway, she helped me do this, so she's loaded it on. And what I didn't realise was that you can actually lock and unlock the vehicle on the app, and I can turn the vehicle on as well. So if I, for instance, put on the heated seats and the heated steering wheel and the defrost the rear screen and the front screen, turn all that on and then turn the engine off and go in home, and the following day, if it's all frosted up, I can slide this across here and it will start the engine and leave the car locked, and it'll start the engine and everything will warm up and defrost, which is fantastic. Except the fact I could have done with that when I was working, because I don't work now, and very often I get up and we don't go out anywhere until the frost is all cleared. But it's worth knowing, and it's worth having if ever we do need it. I'm sure there's going to be occasions when, you know, that's going to be very handy, but just not every day. So that was an unexpected bonus. I didn't expect to get that at all. I only found that out on the day I picked the car up on Monday. Brilliant. And the only fault I found with it is this, look. Don't fit. Now, she said she was going to ring me within a couple of days to see if I'm happy with the car. And I must say I am up to now so far, but we'll get that fixed. Because I've been on, I've googled it, and apparently other models have that problem as well. So it's something to do with the fact that it's a plastic moulding. It's just all plastic, and it just moves. Ugh. But there you go. Oh, one more thing that's really annoying that I forgot. We went out up the motorway on a trip. We went up to Hardwick Hall to see Bess of Hardwick and near Chesterfield for a run out, because we're in the National Trust. Anyway, we got on the motorway, and I said about this lane keeping thing. I switched that off, but I changed lanes a bit quick, and it didn't like it. So it came up with a thing there saying driver fatigue warning, and it says we suggest you have a break. It shows you a little picture of a cup of tea. Well, I'd only been driving about 10 minutes. Stupid bloody thing. Anyway, so I've got to switch that off somehow, and I did read how to do it, and I haven't done it yet. So is it in settings? It's in driver alerts somewhere. Alexa mode, software, Ford Assistant. I don't think it's in there. General. No. Where is it? I think it might be in features. Driver assistance is going to be there, isn't it? Driver assistance. Here we go. Look, traction control. Driver alert. Bugger off. There you go. So it shouldn't do that anymore. So there you go. That's what you get. Audio's off, but then, like I say, features. Your owner's manual's on here, and you can search in it. But what I tend to do is, if I can't be bothered here, I'll just go and Google it. If you just put in new Puma, and then whatever you want, it just usually comes up. It's dead easy, and you can search on there, whatever. So there you go. Like I say, I'm not showing you everything, because you should. If you can't find it everywhere else, then you won't be able to drive it. But I am impressed with it. There we are then. This is turning into quite a blog, isn't it? First of all, it's been a week and a bit since I did the other. I've just reviewed what I shot before. First thing to say is, I have washed this shirt. I just noticed I'm wearing this shirt in the other one, but I have washed it, honestly. I'm not a dirty git. But anyway, what is going on? Well, I've got a crib sheet, look, of all the things to fill in from my experience before. I've done over 1,000 miles in it now. First thing to say is, I'll show you the petrol cap. The petrol cap has now been done, sorted, and it's nice and square in its little hole. It's lovely. What happened is, the first thing I should say is about Paynes of Hinckley. When I bought it from Paynes, I read the reviews before I went there, and some of the reviews on the servicing, the after sale service, were awful, to be honest, but I took a risk. Now, when I first, years ago, there used to be a thing called Orange Wheels. Now it's CarWow, and any car sales professional worth his salt, his or her salt, will know about CarWow. And they pretend they've never heard of it. They're pulling your wool over your eyes. So I went on CarWow, and I got a price of about 30k. I think it was 30k something, and it was in King's Lynn. So when I was talking to the salesman it was a salesman at the first chap I saw at Paynes, I said to him, now be careful, don't go up to him and say, oh, this is on CarWow, mate, and if you can't match this, then I'm going elsewhere. No, you assume that they know about it, and we talked about it, and he gave me a price, and I think it was 30 or something. I can't remember. There was £1,000 in it anyway. And I just said to him, well, look, you've heard of Carwow. I've been on Carwow. Is there any chance you could match the price? And he said, how much is it? And I said, well, it's only a grand difference. And I showed him. Obviously, they're not daft. They want to see the evidence. And he said, yeah, we can do that. So they matched the price. It's only a grand, but to me and the missus, that's a couple of nights out somewhere, isn't it? It's a couple of breaks. We've got the problem with the fuel filler. Now, I contacted them. I contacted the sales lady. It was Chantal who took over after the other chap left. Anyway, so I contacted Chantal, and she said, okay, I'll have a word with the service department, and I'll let you know. They'll probably get in touch with you. And I thought, oh, okay, because that's what the review said, was that the service department never got back to them. So anyway, held my breath. That was on the Friday. That was just after I made the other film. And she emailed me the following morning, Saturday morning, early, and she said, bring the car in any day next week between 9 and 11, and we'll have a look at it for you and let you know how we're going to proceed. And I thought, well, you can't say fairer than that, can you? So I did. I went on a Monday, and I went in and I saw the service lady, a very, very nice, friendly lady called Sue. And I said to her, I've just got the car, got my Puma a week ago, and I've got a problem with it, and they told me to bring it back. And she said, oh, the petrol flap. And I said, yeah, that's the one. And she said, oh, that's okay, yeah, I'll just get somebody. And she disappeared out the back, came up with this chap, and he came and had a look at it. Excuse me. And he took me seriously. It wasn't like, oh, it's only a petrol flap. He did have a look at it, and he was very serious. And he said, He said, right, okay, get it booked in, and we'll have a look at it, and we'll get it sorted. So I went back to see Sue, and she booked it in, and she said, would you like to come on the Tuesday? Well, we like to go away, so we wanted to go away for that week, or for a few days. So I said, any chance later? Oh, she asked me if I wanted a courtesy car, and I said, yes, please. Would you like a Puma? I said, well, I'm not really fussed, to be honest. I'll drive anything. And I thought, trying to be a good customer, I'm not going to be that blooming fussy, am I? Oh, no, it's got to be exactly the same. For one day. Well, hopefully one day. And I said, any chance of the Friday? And she said, well, yes, but... She said, you can do it on Friday, but if we have to get a new part, we can get it next day. But we can't get it next day, because next day on a Friday will be the Monday, a working day. So if you book it in on the Thursday, if we need it next day, you'll get it Friday. So you'll have your car back for the weekend. Which is common sense, isn't it? So I said, go for that then. So we booked it in on the Thursday. Went over and she got me a Cougar. And she called me later that day and said it's done. I went back and fetched it. Done. So, excellent service. They've obviously read the bad reviews and said, come on, we've got to do something about this. I used to work in customer service, so I appreciate it. So, fair play to Pains of Incley for sorting that out. Well done. I'm going to stop now because there's a woman just about to walk past with a kid, and she's going to wonder, what the hell am I doing here talking to myself? Right, she's gone. I've got on my list here, Pains and Carwow. I've done that. Armrest, it says. Armrest. This armrest. I don't know if you can see this armrest, so I'll show you. The armrest, look. Now, I didn't realise until I got the Cougar that it actually moves forward like that. And then you have to reach around to lift it up. It lifts up like that. And then in the back position, the lever's just there. But even there, it catches my arm sometimes on a long journey, and I don't really like it. I would like it to go right back. But what I do is, I'll just have it up like that, and then it just doesn't catch my elbow so much. So, I don't know if anybody else has that problem, but it would be nice if that could move out the way. And then sometimes it is nice to have it back. And have it there, but normally when I'm stopped and I'm having a bit of a break. Right, I'll try this on the phone and hopefully these screens will show up, because I noticed that they didn't show up so well on the other one. So let's power up. Right, so the engine's running now, and hopefully you can see this screen a lot better. come on. Right, here we go. And it's on night colours for some reason, but anyway, it's only time is it? It's time somewhere. There you are, 15:37, but it's on night colours. But it don't matter, who cares? Right, so I've started the car up now. The routine is for when I drive off, I want to turn off the lane keeping, and that's this button, but I've got to press it twice. On the Cougar I had, it was on the end of the stalk, and you only had to press it once. And by the way, this car's only got one stalk, look. Everything is on this one stalk. But anyway, yeah, so I'll press that once. Do you want to turn it off? Yes. So that's 2 presses just to turn that off. And then the next thing is the driver alerts. So that's in features. Driver assistance, 2 presses so far. Driver alert, 3 presses. And then back to home, 4 presses. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 6. This is before you even start. Right. I think I'm getting some flare, but I'll try this anyway. Navigation. It's no good talking to the thing, because half the time it doesn't understand what you're talking about and you could end up anywhere. So, where to? Recent. Let's see if I can do recent. Where have I been? Oh, I can scroll down. Right. Brundle, the White Heron. My boat is near the White Heron, so I want to go there. Right, 143 miles. That sounds about right. Yeah. Now, the thing is, the boat is not quite there, but I can't move that. Like on my TomTom, I could move that with my finger and navigate somewhere else, but you can't do that on here. You can't select that. You've got to go with where it tells you. So if I say, now before, the last bit of the road down to the boat is rough road. It's not made. Okay, so last time I got this, look, route confirmation. Route does not avoid unpaved roads. So it gives me the option to cancel or continue. Okay, that's because of that last bit of unpaved road. So I just wanted you to see that confirmation, route confirmation. I'm cancelling it because I'm not going there. Now, when I went, I got down the A14 to where it joins the A1, and there was an incident on the road, and I had to concentrate, and the speed limit changed and everything, and I was just going through all this, and lights were coming on. Then it came up with a warning saying there was debris in the road, and at the same time it came up as debris on the road, another little bleep went again, and over here it said route confirmation. It doesn't avoid unpaved roads. Same one again. And I'm halfway there now, and it's asking me again. Well, why does it do that? Does it suddenly think I'm halfway there? Oh, he might want to change his mind and go a different way. Or he might suddenly decide he doesn't want to go down an unpaved road. What? You know, what's going on? Who wrote that algorithm? It's just ridiculous. But anyway, it's just something you have to live with, isn't it? But it's a bit daft. Anyway, let's deal with the lane keeping then. Another thing you get is if you come up behind a cyclist, this lights up red and you get a collision alert, possible collision alert. But the lane keeping thing, you've switched it off, but if you use the cruise control, as soon as you press that to set it, the lane keeping comes back on again. And you have to switch it off again, another 2 presses, which is a bit silly. Now, I have been asking around on forums and personal neighbours and that, and I've been asking them about lane keeping, and they all say exactly the same thing. They hate it, and they either switch it off or somebody ignores it, but everybody else switches it off. One lady, she's got a Vauxhall, and she says the switch off button is down here somewhere. So when she goes and she's realises she's forgot to switch it off, she's got to take her eye off the road to look down here for the button to switch it off, which is that's more dangerous. I just wish somebody could explain to me why it should be there. Why should it be defaulted on? Why is it deemed by somebody to be safe when nobody wants it? Or is there anybody out there who does like it? It just seems silly. I wonder if Ford or anybody else, any of the manufacturers, can do a survey and see who likes lane keeping, who wants it, who thinks it's a brilliant idea, and who thinks we should all have it and be forced to use it. Seems ridiculous to me. The driving modes. Let's get on to driving modes. So you go on to drive modes and it defaults to normal. So you press eco and it goes all nice and green, and your screen goes nice and green, and you drive off and you go wherever you want to go on eco. But as soon as you switch the engine off and go in somewhere, go shopping, come back to the car, it's gone back to normal. But if you're quick enough, it will ask you if you want to go back to eco, and if you leave it a long time, it won't, it'll just go back to normal. So I don't know what that's all about, but that's what it does. On sport mode, I have tried it on sport around the country lanes around here, and it does go a bit, I must admit. Quite happy with that. But on the question of economy, right, I've been to Norfolk and we've done a trip up to the Lake District, and it does about 54 to the gallon. But the Norfolk trip is dual carriageway and motorway most of the way, well, all the way almost, apart from that last bit of unmade road. So I put it on eco and it did 54 point something to the gallon. So we went to the Lake District, and on the way up I put it on eco, different roads, and it's dual carriageway and motorway all the way up as far as about junction 6, the turn off for Kendal, and then there's about the last 40 miles or so is country lanes, etc. And we went up there and it did about 52 to the gallon. So coming back, I thought, oh well, I'll give this a go, because it's very, very pathetic acceleration on eco mode. So I left it on normal when we came back. So we drove back from Keswick to Kendal on normal mode, and it did 53 to the gallon. So it didn't make a lot of difference. I just stuck it back onto eco mode when we got on the motorway, and it did about 53 all the way home. So I'm not sure that the eco makes a lot of difference. So I probably won't bother with that. Unless I'm going a long way on the motorway, I won't bother with the eco. What else? I've just washed it. And got the key in my pocket and walking around the car, and it keeps locking and unlocking itself. I don't know what that's all about either. And then when I went to wash the rear bumper, the boot kept opening. Considering you're supposed to kick a football under the middle of it, I was cleaning it at the ends and it came up, but not annoying, that's all right. Lastly, I'm going to show you what I found. When I came back from Norfolk, it was dark, and I got out of the car and I found these Puma lights on the floor projecting onto the deck, and I could not stop laughing. I was 17 all over again. It was a bit silly. Anyway, I shot this video. I'll show you this video. It is a bit daft, the video is, but it's me prattling around because I made the video for the family WhatsApp group, and I wanted to show my grandchildren what the car did. So that explains why it's a bit silly. It's not me showing off or anything. Okay. Now look at this. Look at this. My new car. Watch this. Watch this. Now come on. How cool is that? So one of the first things I bought was this Faraday cage. I think that's what they call it. It's a security pouch. You put it in there and the thieves can't clone your key. So I went straight down Halfords and bought 2 of them. It's a shame that the Ford don't give you one with the car, isn't it though? Or the dealer. Be a nice bit of promotion, a nice bit of advertising. But there you go. One of the main considerations for buying a car this size was so that it would go into normal sized car parking spaces. I've got an XC90 and the damn thing is sometimes it's difficult to park it. You want to get your doors open and you don't want to scratch anybody else's car. So this fits in lovely. And people have commented that on the inside it has the feel of a bigger car, which I suppose it does. But the boot is absolutely cavernous. Look at this. Here's the shop it in. But these two cases, that's a big case and a medium case. And this is how we fitted them in when we went on holiday recently. Plus we had another big bag underneath the floor. And I'll show you, look. Now looking at this carefully, you can see the supports for the base because it's got two positions. Like most cars these days, you can have it low or you can have it high. Go back to the first picture of the two cases, it's in the low position. So you can see you've still got quite a bit of space above that tub to put some more. And then this picture is of the big case with the base at the raised position. And you've still got loads more room around it. It's just a shame that the bloke who designed the boot didn't design the computer system. So that is the end of my very first and last car review. I'm very happy with the car. I forgot to mention the B&O sound system, which is really good if you like that kind of thing. To me, it's limited in a car because you've got the road noise, but anyway, it's good. Very happy with the car, very happy with the economy. Would I have preferred another car? Well, if they'd have made the Mocha better, more comfortable, different on the inside, I didn't like it on the inside, and if they'd have kept that 1.3 diesel engine, which was very, very, very economical, I might have gone for that, but you can't get a diesel now. So this was basically, we just thought we'd go for this. So yeah, it's a lot of fun and it will do us for a few years. I hope that's helped somebody else make a decision about whether to buy one or not. But I just wanted to put a few things straight, because if you're like me, there are some things which will annoy you, but we just have to adapt, don't we? Alright, thanks for watching.